Okay. All right, I think we're good to go.
Oh, we'll call the meeting to order with
6:13.
roll call.
Paul St. Norman.
Alex Ferraro for staff.
Nick Longo.
Maureen Buffy, Norma Smith. Approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes for Thursday, January 2nd?
Can I make a motion to accept the
Second.
minutes from last month?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
And we'll give credits to, we now have, the former HR director here, Cheryl, is our new minute taker. Cheryl Wilcox.
she's
So-
doing it?
Yep,
Oh, good for her.
yes, so
Yeah, good for
we got
her.
her to thank for it.
Okay. CLG grant status.
Well, I guess the main, status to, I guess the two things to report would be that we had, the quarters 3 and 4. Reports have been uploaded, so we're good with those ones. And like probably within the next month will be the Q1 report, so. I can write up like I did last time, I can
Yeah.
write up a basic summary of what's happened
Mhm.
and,
I'll
you know,
just fill in
yeah,
the blanks or
I'll
whatever.
just paste it in, yeah, if it
Yeah,
works.
it's due March 31st,
Mhm.
so.
So that works.
Mhm.
I know it's been relatively quiet so far because our consultant had planned to do his first surveying out in the field in February. His car got sideswiped, and so it screwed up the door to the point that he needs a new door. And so he's been stuck waiting for them to deliver and then install the door. So
Currently doesn't have
HP
insurance with rental car reimbursement, huh?
I guess, I don't know, so it's these unforeseen circumstances, so he's been in touch with me over that. And just the other day, one of the people from HPHC emailed him just to say, you know, yeah, what time, cause he had said he previously said he was looking around March 20th is when he was expecting to be over here. And so they're saying, so which, you know, basically which date are you looking at? Because I think they wanted to do, I think they wanted to say hello in person to him, so. You know, as soon as I know, I'll let you know, but that's. That is pretty much how it proceeds, so once he comes out here, that's the day, those are the, whatever, 2 days, however long it takes him. To cycle through the streets in the area that's been defined, in the HPHC maps, take pictures of. You know, whatever he eyeballs and determines is probably contributing, and. From there, he goes back, fills out the information, HPHC gave him a spreadsheet. That's built out, so it has like all the categories that you need, you know, approximate age, the style, all that stuff. So he's basically working from their pre-approved, you know, sensible, rationalized, whatever template. And that's what he fills out and submits back to them. I think from there, he writes his initial report about. Which partly he's not starting from scratch because they gave him as well. The report that. There was a little bit of material that was done before on their end, and I know that the town. More than 10 years ago, I think we had prepared a Harris local historic district. And so that report, at least somebody saved it, so we scanned that and sent it to him. So he'll be able to recycle what he can, what's still relevant, that should hopefully save some time. But yeah, from there, he submits the draft report and the draft background material. And then the town HPHC start looking at it, giving feedback, and that's the process of putting the resources survey together. So. Hopefully, yes, knock on wood, that in 2 weeks' time, he's got his door and he's over here scheduled.
Mhm.
That's basically the update.
Okay,
Where's he coming from?
He resides in Pennsylvania, but HPHC said that he's got, a couple other, I know he told me he had some projects in Connecticut that he's doing surveys for. And then they told me he got another 1 or 2 in Rhode Island since ours.
Okay,
So he's probably gonna do a big grand tour,
mhm,
you know,
Southern
our
New England.
area, yeah, southern New England.
okay, anybody have any questions? Where we're at for that?
When he does start doing that, does he let you know that he's coming up to do it?
Yeah, I think he's
He
gonna
keeps in
tell-
contact with you?
Yeah,
Yep.
so.
I have a lot of stuff on Harris,
Okay,
Arkwright, all that area,
okay,
pictures and other stuff. In fact, I met with an historian today relative to Hope and that, which is just, but he has a lot of stuff too, but anyway. I don't know what he includes in his presentation, but
if it's,
You'll see
do you
some
have it
things here.
digitized or anything?
I
Like
do.
any way it's- maybe
I've
we
been
can share it?
digital. I do at least an hour every week doing this stuff.
Hmm.
Okay, I spent 2 hours at Patuxent Valley Historical looking for stuff on Hope and Hope Mill and things related to it. That was Falvey linen and all that stuff. And I got lost in a lot of other things once I started looking at the
Mhm.
newspapers and that, but so I've got, I take my app and I do it, then I've got to label stuff, as you'll see. I haven't labeled everything. I could do this for 2 hours every day and would take me a month to get it to that point, but I do a certain amount, but I've been doing more images and narrative too, when I can find it, on that, so.
Yeah, if we can share, if we could share
Yeah.
it maybe as a link, because Cody could probably make a link.
Hmm.
Then he's got it on hand. And
Yeah,
be able to
right.
incorporate, yeah, or at least, who knows, I mean. You never know, even a picture sometimes is enough to,
Well, you
confirm
could-
something you read.
My point is you could give him my contact info. And then if he's looking for pictures of mill houses and other stuff and the old mill, any of that relates to the history of that, can provide it to him.
Okay.
Okay, because there's a lot of things that are gone.
Your stuff is not on a website or a.
I'm not, and I won't be doing that. I'm not, I'm doing this stuff for here, for the Coventry Historical, basically.
Will you put it on the town webpage?
Yeah.
Or do you think, okay,
I'm not doing it for, I'm not gonna write a book and use it or something. And a lot of these pictures and images have been gleaned from other sources. Some are my grandfather's, some I've gotten online, others are from Coventry Historical Society, from the stuff that Norma has given me, and I get others from other people. I met with Don Carpenter today. And I got a bunch of pictures, and I'm gonna go back and meet with him again, because he was showing me things he has, because he actually has written stories on a lot of these areas. But it's just my grandfather did too, and I've got to, some of that there's a lot more to digitize. I've been primarily doing images of mills, villages, maps, of like the old town maps, stuff like that. But I'm getting them organized. I'm slowly getting them organized. Like I have a bunch of folders that you'll see on this tonight of several of the villages. Doesn't mean I've gotten everything sorted into a village or a specific thing, like history of Coventry. There's a lot more to add to that. I just started that. That's the latest one I created, is a file folder in the images on history of Coventry. But there's so much more to add to it that I haven't got to yet, because I'm still working, I'm still working basically full time, so
Mhm.
I do this on the weekends or at night
Is-
or whatever, so.
Is the majority of it sorted into villages,
Hmm.
or is it?
Yeah, a lot of it is, but I've got
Okay.
more to put, that I've got to move, and some of them, because I gotta label them a
Right,
little bit, so
right,
I know what they
you
are.
can't just put pictures up there and not tell people what they are,
No.
because they'll get right to
And
it.
so you're gonna see some that don't have label,
Yeah.
just because I haven't had time to
Well,
do them
those-
yet.
I mean, it can't all go up at once anyway.
No, you can't.
Oh.
I'm sure I have a minimum of 500 pictures on this thing right now,
Mhm.
somewhere around there, so.
So
But,
when we,
and some of them are duplicated, and I've been eliminating that, because sometimes I already had one in there, and it was on the computer, and I didn't think I did. But as I go through and sort them into the folders, I find the duplicates. And in some cases there's two, because I've colorized them. Certain ones that I really like, I colorize, and I've done that with them to make them come out more and look nice, so
Mhm.
you'll see them side by side usually with the black and white or sepia and then color one there. So, I mean, I spent 2 hours yesterday just putting this stuff onto the disc, so I'd have it ready for tonight, doing it that way. But anyway,
This will be, try to remember too, I think yours will be a nice segue into the, that grant that I have it open in a tab over here, the digitization grant, we can talk about that one after.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just makes sense, they'll need the
Yeah.
business. For the current grant anyway, that's what I got.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, can we just do the ongoing projects first?
well,
Before-
that's kind of what I was doing ahead of time there, I guess, for me.
No, no,
My
no, no,
ongoing.
well, the vision statements next. I
Oh.
just wanted to go on because we talked about Reed School. The windows need reglazing, is that what you call it?
They need glazing, so is that something that
Well,
we
that I
need to
would,
get an estimate
yeah.
on, obviously?
plus the lock, they had said the lock didn't have. What did
No
you say?
plate on it.
No plate. Well, I'm thinking
Sorry.
we should
The
consider,
door lock, there's
Oh,
no plate.
Okay,
No strike plate,
Yeah.
the deadbolt just goes into the
all
wood.
right.
yeah,
so-
but I'm thinking we should consider a new lock, because there are keys out. Nobody's going in there, but there are keys out, so it would be
Okay,
better maybe to
so
put in a new lock.
Lock, question mark,
Yeah.
new or fix?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Only
the
'cause
lock
I-
itself works, but there's no plate.
There's no
If you
plate
really
where, the
jerk-
striker plate you're talking
Right,
about, yep,
right. If you jerked on that, that wood would splinter.
Okay.
and-
but I'm just saying that because I know other
Yeah.
people have locks to the school, I don't know who. But there are locks out there, so it might be better if at the time we consider changing it.
Yeah, well, I'll stop and take a look at it, just so I take a picture up close. I mean, I have
Yeah.
pictures from, that I took when I did
Yeah.
that last spring of the
Mhm.
fences in the building.
Yeah.
For that, but I'd rather get one with my cell phone right up close of it, so I've got what it is in case we want to replace it.
So,
Well, yeah, and so DPW had said if we can get them, like, basically this stuff, like the photos, the explanation of what it is that needs to get done.
Mhm.
That, just
Yeah.
funnel it to them and they can do it, so.
So they can fix the fence?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mentioned, in this one, I mentioned the windows and the lock,
Yeah.
and they said, yeah, for that, so who knows?
Exactly.
'Cause that's
But
small.
the fences would need to be scraped. Or, I know,
It
there's a
should be
lot of
just
rot in that stuff, so
replaced.
really, it's a major project, cost wise, it's not,
I don't think they're interested in,
they're not
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
it's-
interested in that.
I mean,
it's something we're
eventually,
gonna,
No, but I'd like to be able to just tell them, to ask them, this is what is needed. And
Mhm.
then if they choose not to do it, then, okay, fine, we have. the
and let us know
defense in hand.
quickly, so we don't sit around.
Put it on the list.
Wondering.
put it on the list.
But the thing is with the Reed Schoolhouse, it's really our only flagship building that the commission has any say over. So I think that it's really important that we make that a really big focus, that we get a budget for it and then we actually get things done, like fix the fence. How much is the fence gonna cost? 20 grand, 30?
Have no idea.
Also
So
to the thing in the back, the,
just need to be aggressive
Needs-
because we're
needs
talking
the
about,
Landscaping done, it needs, the outhouses need to be,
Well, the bulkhead needs to
Bulkhead.
be,
The
the
bulkhead
bulkhead,
needs to be.
it's like the
refurbished.
windows, they take a beating much more so because they're,
Yeah,
exposed more. So the bulkhead is in need of refurbishing, right, scraping, epoxy putty, the special stuff you use in painting.
and
so
those outhouses are buried in the bushes, the bushes need to be trimmed back.
Yeah.
'cause The outhouses are gonna collapse.
So, I think we should need to pick a couple of things and hit it because there'd be nothing worse than to drive by that place in 5 years and it's a wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only thing we have to be responsible for right
Yeah.
now is that Reed Schoolhouse. So
Maybe we make a master list of everything that needs to be done and we
we
just
did before.
prioritize it.
I still have it in my phone, I think. Wasn't it you and me that went through the place or?
We did once, but I didn't take pictures inside. I
Yeah.
was only dealing with the exterior stuff
Mhm.
when I did that, so.
Yeah, so we've been talking about it for a couple of years and.
We
The
talked
place
about
is-
screwing down the desks.
Moving them?
Moving them, right,
Yeah, they're all
Turn
facing
around,
the
yeah,
back.
Bathroom,
Mm.
if it gets nothing else, needs to be clean. It's
Right.
disgusting.
So like yard work and cleaning the bathroom, I guess we could do some of those things, go over there on a Saturday and. Do a little weed whacking or whatever.
Volunteer cleanup days, yeah, for some of the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Those
They could be-
bushes around those outhouses need to go back.
And that's another opportunity for a public event too. Hey, come by and volunteer to.
Trim bushes.
Yeah,
You never know if you can, yeah. it's
Good luck with
pretty
that.
long on the high schoolers that have to do.
Yeah, that's-
Really?
What, as far as the budget's concerned, we're going to, like, just to paraphrase, we need to write up a little thing of what we're gonna do with the current money that we have in the
No, that's,
budget.
I was saying like, I think that's more for next year. But for this,
Okay,
yeah, no, for this year, it's, I think, the same as what it was this past year, so. Yeah, the first thing I think is just to make absolutely certain, and I'm pretty sure it is at this point in time, like, I think it's settled. But,
what
yeah,
is-
remember, we had the question, it was a few months ago at this point of. Does this year's current budget, is there anything for the town's match for the,
Right,
CLG
right, for the
grant.
CLG grant.
that we needed to
Okay.
basically like, you
Hang
know,
on to.
apply like the mental
Right.
shift, like, we only actually have. 1,200 instead of 1,000 or something like that to spend, but
But we
they
don't,
said, yeah, but they said, even though it doesn't show up. In, you know, on the books for this year's budget, that the town knows that that money exists and that it's in the amorphous. Account that they just will deduct from when that time comes,
okay,
that it's,
So,
gets reimbursed.
what we have in our account right now is what we have to.
So yeah,
spend.
I think it's the 2,000, and again, we can just, since it comes up, we can just make sure. That that is in fact the case, but I think the only question that I can remember that we had to that effect, I think that's been answered already.
Just trying to clarify what you said. Are you saying that the DPW would possibly do the window glazing stuff and painting those windows?
That's what
Is that,
it sounded
Yeah.
like to me, it sounded like they were happy to. Happy to. That's some strong words. But it sounded like they planned to do it,
They were willing, they were
Yeah.
willing.
Really,
but I mean,
well, how do we operationalize that? Do we meet with them like for
I
15
think,
minutes
yeah,
somewhere?
he said,
and-
he'd said to me, give us, I forgot the exact phrasing he used, like the details, the information,
and this is Terry, Kevin?
Yeah.
I was confused the two.
Yes, but yeah,
So you're
Kevin.
gonna,
so we, I guess,
you
yeah,
want
put
to
together the
paint,
thing,
what color paint you want,
yeah, I think
whatever.
it's basically like
Well,
that.
we should specify what they should use.
Well, it should be a job walk, doesn't, shouldn't it be a job walk?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, just to make sure they use the right type of paint for that and the right type of thing.
Hmm.
I would find out from my painter what, is the proper product for that.
So you
so-
can do.
I don't-
sure
I-
we take
and-
Pictures ahead of
I mean,
time
it's
and make
nice
it
that they're gonna
work.
do it, but you don't want them to go out and just grab something that they get at the hardware store and think that it's gonna be good. Cause you wanna use good product on that, cause that is what falls apart the first,
Mhm.
so. Anyway,
Yeah, so I think it's probably does make sense to write out the list, I mean.
yeah,
We know, like, when I brought that up, it was specifically, I said the windows and the lock, so we know on those ones. That they're amenable to it, but yeah, you can write out the other ones too, and maybe you break it out by topic, like, it's like
Yeah.
Like a word, a page, like a whole Word document, like a page or two for each topic, you got your pictures in it, you say what, if there is anything we can price quote. You can provide it,
Rough
each piece,
estimate.
yeah. Cause it's like, it's, structured easy for them to see, like, okay, if we had to take this in bites, like. We could
Mhm.
send somebody out there once every month, every 2 months or something to do one of these at a time, like what it looks like.
is there any way to get those, that plastic off those windows so you can get some airflow? When we go in there?
you have to take off the plexiglass in order to do it. So
that's what she's asking.
that's, well, I mean,
Because it's.
someone who's gonna be responsible, they're pretty easy to take off. They are made so they're easy to take off, so you can paint the windows and that. So I would advise if you're gonna do that, not to be doing more than like take 2 off so you can open them up, and not get into. The risk of breaking them or something. They're not glass, they're
No, they're
plexi,
not
so,
See,
yeah,
but the thing, when you're in there. which
yeah,
we found
you
out,
you
it
need
is
some air,
screaming hot there,
Yeah.
and there's no ventilation,
yep.
and so. It kind of limits.
I just sent you the Reed Schoolhouse to-do list,
You did?
on text.
And I know they were
Okay.
put up there for security and to keep the windows from getting broken.
Yep, And to protect them, like, once they're repainted, they'll last a lot longer now with that over them, because they're not getting the wind-driven rain and all, and snow and that on them, so they will stand up. But, we just put that on long after they've been painted, so.
It doesn't get so hot in there that anything like. It's not like the paint melts off the wall.
No,
right.
it's just.
No.
it's just-
Uncomfortable.
Right.
If you're
So
in there
then-
trying to do
Yeah.
something,
It's uncomfortable.
it's very,
Well, if we hold events,
Yeah,
it's in
then
the
you
warmer
take it down on
months.
the middays.
I don't know how easy it is to get that stuff off.
I don't know, I'll ask the guys that installed them.
Well, cause otherwise I know it
You know,
sounds like,
ladder and,
cause you'd be held like seasonal, and you know what I mean, like if you can't take them off, then you'd basically be wanting to have like. Spring and fall, the tolerable. Season event times to have indoor stuff there. In any case.
I mean,
Okay.
it seems a shame to go through all the time and trouble of turning all the desks around and then just not use it for anything. And painting it and making it pretty and.
But I think that the Reed Schoolhouse could be a central attraction for various events.
Securing the envelope.
And even if it's never used, it needs to be
Well,
preserved.
like you've been doing with the class things that they've done there with the kids coming up.
It's very hot.
Mhm. Okay,
Also in ongoing projects, Norma, was there anything that you had to say with follow-up shelter sign, or was that?
Well, yeah, the fallout shelter sign, I'd like it taken off the police station.
Yeah.
The old police station, and we can put it somewhere, where at some point, I'm not sure where. But it's still there.
is that something public?
Was there someplace else?
Good question.
A lot of schools get this.
Yeah.
Schools were used, Washington Tioga was a fallout shelter. Didn't have a
Just, yeah,
basement,
the police station.
the old police station. There were others, but off the top of my head, I can't think of where they were.
Was this?
So is that something
It didn't exist.
DPW can
It
do to
didn't
take that
exist.
down, or do we have to do it?
I would think probably DPW, like, isn't it, is it a matter of just
DPW,
unscrewing
but
it? Is it just
I don't know how,
unscrewing it?
haven't gotten that close to look, but they're the ones that removed all those brass,
All
bronze.
the other, right?
pine,
Yeah,
The things that
yeah.
we have, they're
Okay.
the
So
ones
they
that
have-
took it off.
That fallout shelter
So-
sign is probably just a metal sign, right?
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
just like street
triangular
sign.
type sign, isn't it?
Is it
No,
triangle?
I know
it's
you showed
square.
me it, but yeah,
It's like a street sign.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
How do we get in there? Do we-
It's on the, it's outside,
Oh, it's
I
outside?
probably just screw it
it's
in.
outside,
Like, you're-
So it's-
by the
There
front
you go.
door, it's by the front
Yeah.
door.
Gee,
But also
I
too,
I don't
know
know
we
if
could
I
just-
can walk that far to go check it out.
the Anthony Village
I
District sign
only
has
live
been
100 yards.
run over.
Oh, really?
Just try not to
The
get
one by
arrested if you take.
Pine
them
Grove
out.
Cemetery.
Out there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll
Somebody ran
vote
over.
George Madison's name.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Is the
get in the
sign
car.
destroyed or just?
Yeah, no, I'll go
post?
take a look at it and see,
It's
because
only
if it's
on the
simple,
road.
I think-
Nick and me
I'm not
can
gonna
do
be
it.
able
Yeah,
to.
As long as you hold the
get over
ladder,
there
so.
next week.
I can fall.
I was driving by and said, oh, somebody.
I was just wondering if the sign can be,
It looked bent, but I
mm.
don't know.
I mean, I am gonna go down and go inside tomorrow.
I mean, I
see
didn't
what you're
stop and
doing.
look.
Yeah,
But,
This is Bob and Norman, they're just
Yeah.
having a great time.
yeah.
Remember when a few months back about the bench, the missing bench?
On South
The
Main
missing
Street.
bench that's now at DPW? Well, across the street is another bench that they never took out. Should we have it taken out?
And it's across from what?
Is this on South
It is
Main Street?
South Main Street by the
Oh, down
bridge.
there. Oh, yeah,
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 yeah.
there's still one there on the
Near
other side of the
Collins,
street,
yeah.
near Bank Street.
yeah.
So that one's still sitting, nobody uses it, but if you're gonna restore one, should we take the other one out too, so that can be restored at some point in time? Do both at the same time?
Yeah,
Do people, nobody uses that for the
Yeah.
bus?
No.
My
No.
only
I
question
don't
would
know.
be, or my only concern would be. If it's taking this long to put one of them back, if they take the other one.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
too.
it's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid of somebody taking the,
I see people
But that-
sitting on it waiting for the
I've seen them
bus.
too.
So probably what would happen would be best is that the other one gets refinished and it gets
Take the
put
other-
there and swap them out.
swap them out.
Yeah.
Because I do, see. I mean, I go up and down that all the time.
I've
and I
seen
do
people sit
see
too,
people sit.
yeah.
Okay. And another thing that we could do maybe at some point are the weights at town hall. They haven't been cleaned in years. They're
The what?
dusty, the weights. the old town weights.
You know, yeah, weights and
Oh,
measures thing, yeah.
Okay.
They've got their own box that they're in,
Yeah.
own. But they should be cleaned it because they're covered with dust and. At some point, I have no idea what that would cost.
Where are they?
As you walk in right there. Okay. When
What
you
glass
walk into
cabinet?
town hall. Across from that map that we had done across there, are the weights. Well, people walk by a lot of things, don't really. I do, you don't always know it, and that's, oh, when did that get there?
I'm in a hurry to go pay my taxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go check out the weights.
Such a hurry to go pay my.
I mean, just as a list
So
of things,
they're locked behind something, I mean.
they're in a case.
So somebody just needs to go open the case and take them out, clean them, I'm not assuming it's.
Well, I don't know if they need to be done in a certain way. I really don't
made
know.
out of them.
With brass, I think,
Probably brass,
brass, I think. They're big.
yeah.
I'll have to go look.
Then
What are they all arranged like next to a scale or something? or-
The
Yeah.
scale,
Yep,
and then the weight.
right
gun.
as you go in town hall.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
take a picture for us and we'll, there's some research
Yeah.
on how to clean
yeah,
brass.
What
next
were
I
they
will,
for?
I'll
I'm
study
sorry?
and
Are
next
they
time I go around.
decorations?
There's a sign at the top. No, they were used for,
Weights and measures.
Weights and
official
measures.
weights and,
back in the day.
cows and horses. and-
Yeah. There's a sign at the top that says what they. weigh.
No,
I don't know.
I
I don't know, there's a sign at the top.
I'm sure they had to have some standardized official weight that everything else was judged off. of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I wonder if
But
it's
that's
like
what they
a
are.
weight of money or something, like people are paying.
right, let's go take a picture of that too.
That's a good question. I mean, I
Yeah.
have no
Maybe
idea.
there's a little
There's a
material. I can
sign at the
read it.
top.
I'll read it,
There's a
yeah.
sign at the top.
Interesting.
That needs cleaning. I don't know if that would cost anything or,
Probably
Or we could
something
just
can
do it.
We just gotta
Yeah.
figure out what the
Yeah.
appropriate medium is
Just
to
get
do
some
that.
brasso. You ever heard of
You
brasso?
don't- Yeah, but you don't want to take a patina off an antique item, so you
No.
want something gentler. Most places, museums use vinegar,
Yeah, oh, vinegar?
yeah.
whatever, they're kind of dusty and
Maybe we just dust them off.
nobody's paying
You don't
attention
want
to
to
them.
scrub off
Yeah.
the years of
No.
junk.
We don't need to
That's-
get aggressive,
junk
I
is
guess.
important.
Yeah.
Don't you watch Antiques Roadshow?
I do,
Don't you
oh,
know?
yeah, I understand the whole.
Yeah.
Watch it
patina
every
thing.
week.
Okay, all right, now we can go to vision statement.
Okay. What I did is similar to last time where I put a couple of statements together. One a little longer than the other. And then I referred to my notes from the last meeting and we had said, bring a sentence or two if you come up with something. Put in here, so that's why I have draft vision statement number 3, if we wanna. Conglomerate something, if somebody has something that really wants to be said, then you can put it in there. But take a minute to look these over and, just like we did last time, we can cut and paste and. Change a word or all of it or whatever we wanna do. So while you're reading it, I'll talk at the same time to make the multitask. Both of these vision statements revolve around. A thought that I've had lately that we need to pick our battles so we can start making some important achievements. And I think where our power is right now is community education, printing, website, events, displays. If we just start bolstering those things to become a presence, so citizens see this history and the people that are putting it together, then we can maybe gain strength from critical mass where we get enough citizens aware of these things so that we could move on to building preservation and everything. And I think right now, building preservation is way in the,
The back corner.
yeah,
Yes,
way
We're
far
not
away.
ready for it yet.
Because, yeah, the town's not ready, administration's not ready, we're not ready. In some ways, it's too late for the town anyway to have a lot of
They've
stuff
already
preserved.
let a lot of the stuff be torn
Yeah.
down.
Colleen was mentioning the map as most of the places are empty lots now and. So we probably need to go where the action is for right now and just bolster mind share by really working on educational things. But I did include buildings and places and culture. And then in the shorter one, local preservation, because it does have to go to that. I don't think we should just be an education department, you know, but this is what we have to do first, I think, to get some critical mass and get us to practice on how to interact with residents and things like that. I brought my umbrella in. I'll share it with you.
My mother used to say, I'm not sugar.
Should be over by the time we get out of here.
Should.
Okay, so
would.
I like the second one because it's short.
I knew you would.
I know you would. You like the short one. I like the longer one.
Sweet.
I like,
Yeah, and I was careful not to, because I read so many vision statements online. Most of them are really mission statements. I'm surprised some very large organizations write a mission statement called a vision statement. You know, so I was real careful to make sure that there wasn't anything flavored in here that sounded like a to-do list or, you know, how we're gonna do it and all that, so.
The only thing I would change on the draft vision statement number 2 would be, I would add. So it says, and online resources that will encourage residents and visitors to explore our local history and to become stakeholders in local preservation. That way we can appeal to the Chamber of Commerce and
Yes,
visitors
yeah. And that's probably part of our mission too, right, is to bring people in eventually, and we can get enough color in front of them to make them wanna come look.
We're trying to do apps for driving tours and photos online. It's not gonna just, I mean, residents, yes, but if we can get interest from outside people to come to the town and drive around and look at stuff, then they're gonna stop someplace and eat, and
Yeah.
stop someplace and get gas, and
Mhm,
that's all of benefit to the town.
definitely.
I feel like in the first one, the understanding of their heritage through, and then that's the lead in. I mean, maybe say engage with their heritage. I don't know, it's.
Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Yeah. second
Enjoy an
line
understanding of their heritage, and what were you thinking?
Well, just when, maybe it's just me, when I look at the draft vision statement number 2, just that it has access to an interactive learning experience, it's true, but that is a little more, I don't know, to me, it's like, I read that and I think that the pitch is like, you know, we offer you learning materials, and then towards the end, we start to broaden out, like, we're interested in more than, just the education, but we also think, you know, historic preservation is important. So, I don't, maybe how would you think, if we said Coventry be a community that,
That envisions a,
that,
Coventry would be a community that envisions.
I
I don't wanna use
stitch it together.
community too much.
What if you take that first statement number 1 from up to where it's understanding their heritage, cut it off,
Maybe
and then
it's
work it
community
into the
that
second one?
engages with, it comes to be a community that engages with.
The envisions a community residents enjoy an understanding of their heritage, stop. Then
Well, he likes the word engage, and I kinda like that now too, instead of
Well,
enjoy.
then you can-
engage.
yeah. But then pick it up with the shorter one.
So
Cut
maybe
it
it's
off
like-
there, cause you've got exhibits and everything in the shorter one.
It's like Coventry will be a community that engages with its heritage through exhibits, publications, events, online resources. Something like that.
Let me write it down, then I'll read it. So, okay, so, Coventry will be a community that engages with its heritage through interactive learning experiences. Look at that, wasn't
Or should we just
I don't
go,
like that.
should we go right to
Huh?
exhibits that will engage with its heritage through exhibits,
Okay.
publications,
Mhm, mhm.
events? Let's see, and online resources. It becomes kind of a long sentence. I don't know whether we should put a period and then say like, this will encourage residents. I guess we get cross the bridge when we get there.
Yeah, so, now it says Coventry will be a community that engages with its heritage through exhibits, publications, events, and, okay, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Anybody else have any? Thing that they want to add or take away or? So just reading the whole thing right now. Harvard will be a community that engages with its heritage. Can you engage with a heritage?
That's.
No,
no.
That's the second time I read it,
There's
now I'm
gotta be a
stumbling on it.
different engage, different word than engage.
We pulled the end of it forward, culture to a community that explores their local history and becomes stakeholders in local preservation.
For residents.
Oh, I see, like reverse the
Yeah,
two
through
thoughts.
exhibits,
Yeah,
publications.
Oh, that's a lot of writing now, let's see, okay, Coventry will be a. Do we start with Coventry will be a?
I don't like
No,
will be.
Coventry is, if you're doing a.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay,
say
will be.
is, not will
that
be.
will be.
Yes, I agree, yeah,
No, well, okay, yeah, okay,
is.
so Coventry is. Community,
Celebrate your heritage.
Well, yeah. Starting point that I suggested was like pick up from that last line. That is a community, Coventry is a community that.
whose residents.
Yes, whose residents explore their local history and become stakeholders in local preservation, again, this is the starting point. Through exhibits, publications, events, and online resources.
I like it. So, Coventry. Is a community, right, I should say, Coventry is a community whose residents. Explore their local history. Oh, yeah, okay, and then, okay, so. Explore their local history. And become stakeholders,
In local preservation.
should I say, and are local stakeholders, since
And
we put
are,
in is?
Yes, and are.
Okay, so now it says Coventry is a community whose residents. Explore their local history. And are stakeholders in local preservation. Through exhibits, publications, blah, 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 on.
Just that,
Needs to
I'm
be
sorry, it doesn't make
It
sense to
doesn't make
me.
sense to you?
No. I don't, I mean, when people read that, it doesn't, I mean, I thought the whole purpose of this is it's our Coventry Historic Preservation Commission that's doing this.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the first one. That's how it's mentioned
Mhm.
and talked about. It's what we're envisioning that we're trying to bring to the town
That's a good
to
point.
get
too.
them
Yeah.
to appreciate the history of their ancestors
It's
and
the commission
yeah.
vision of the
Yeah.
town.
to say it the way you're saying it to me is not a good way to approach it.
Mhm,
I don't,
I'm buying
I
that
don't
too.
see that.
Yeah.
But
I
isn't
think,
that vision statement to state it like it's already here,
no,
it's
Yeah.
not what you're working
No,
on.
it's a plan,
State
it's,
it like
it's
it's
some,
already
But there's
accomplished.
also
No,
the question
mm-mm.
of, is it the vision for the town or the vision for the HPC?
no,
right,
it's a vision of the town by
of the town,
HPC.
right, but I think that needs to be said. I'm not saying you have to have all that in there, but I think it's important.
Would you
That-
adopt the HPC then? Like,
I don't think,
This is an
that's
official
why I like the
writings,
first one, the way that
because
starts.
In some of the
Yeah, I like how
readings
the
that I
first one
did,
starts,
I cited it, I took it off.
but that's
there.
why I think you should stop at heritage.
Project 5 to 10 years.
into the future.
Yeah, what is the
Yeah.
future?
That first sentence should stop at heritage.
Stuff,
We can inspire,
yeah.
we project
That's a
5
good
to 10
point,
years
Sue.
into the future.
It's harder to write these short things than it is some long
I don't know,
explanation.
2 months.
Yeah, I know. But I think that's just me. That's my
Not
opinion
the
only,
whole 2 months, I don't know.
okay?
Just once in a
Is
while.
that I like the way you started that one off with that. Envisions a community, because that's what we're doing. We're envisioning getting the community engaged in their historical heritage.
So stop at heritage. And then,
I'm not a good writer, so don't ask me to
no, I'm
write
just
stuff.
saying, if you stop at
My
heritage.
wife will tell you I'm
and
notoriously
then you
bad
pick up
writer.
part of the shorter one after heritage. This one's wordy, if you just put understanding their heritage and you stop, and then you go down to work with what's on the smaller one.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Karen,
You
could
know,
I think we'll be talking about this next month again, once we all, well, because it's the first time we
Yeah.
really discussed it in
No, I know.
detail. so-
I'm getting that sense too,
Yeah.
I agree. But so now, if I just drop out the second
I was
sentence,
just about to say, you know,
same thing,
Yeah.
so I'll read it like this. So this is out of draft statement one, the Coventry Historic Preservation Commission envisions a community where residents enjoy an understanding of their heritage through exhibits, publications, public events, and a website that serves as a historical archive, which makes it easy for users to explore their local history.
Okay, it's way
Yep.
too long, but
maybe
Okay.
just the
That's one
last clause.
sentence.
I know.
It's a long
It's a long-
sentence.
Saying that the statement is too long, I'm saying the sentence.
You
is
write like
too
I
long.
do. It's one long
That's what I'm
sentence.
stop at heritage and then you pick up another
Pick up a
sentence.
How about if the last,
Well, you're a
everything from
teacher.
and a website? what
No, but I'm
It's
been
an
correcting
online
people's
resource.
grammar most of my adult life.
Does that make it
I always
less?
let my wife
feel
read
less
everything
long?
that I ever write. because
Stop
she
at
corrects it.
heritage. Stop at
If
heritage.
you read the same sentence again, Coventry Historic Preservation Commission envisions a community where residents enjoy and understanding their heritage. Just for the sake of it, bear with me, through
Mhm.
exhibits, publications, public events, and online resources, and left it at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's how I shortened it
Yeah.
down here, right?
Yep.
So,
Yes, I like that much better.
do we still say make it easy for users to explore their local history? Or not?
No,
No,
No.
just end it with
No.
online resources?
right.
And then go on to this will increase community pride. Are you gonna leave that there?
Creating, this will create, no, I don't want to say create.
Well,
How
what
can
did- what did our
understanding
mission state-
appreciation
And-
of their heritage?
Do you have a mission statement?
Yeah,
Yes,
Maybe it's like, would they be shown, are they shown like one after the other on a website? Like, would
usually,
they?
yeah.
I don't have it with me.
At
Maybe
the
one
bottom
will
of your
take care of it.
minutes. The Nixon and Coventry Historical Preservation.
Oh, that's where I
Commission
saw it.
Safeguard the town heritage
Oh.
by connecting residents to the colorful and unique history that exists in Coventry.
Yep.
Commission strives to accomplish this through educational outreach and by working to preserve the town's cultural, social, economic, political, and architectural history. So if you put Coventry Historical Preservation envisions community residents and their understanding and appreciation of their heritage through exhibits, publications, public events, and online resources.
Yeah, I think you just need one short sentence after that, right? And what you say there, this will encourage residents to explore their local history and to become stakeholders in local preservation.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all that you put at the end of that, Yep.
Community to,
Mm.
we encourage residents to explore their local history and include there, okay, that works.
I don't know about the word we in there though, because it kind of takes it away from a vision statement, more to a policy statement. Like,
That kind of like there's some- Can't just say encourage people to.
no,
We, they, us, everyone should be, everyone will be encouraged to.
so are
You
we,
will be encouraged.
Encouraging.
You must.
so right
No.
now, it ends with exhibits, publications, public events, and online resources, period. And then you guys want another sentence,
To just end it,
Closing
right.
sentence.
so,
Encourage. You can't just say encouraging residents
No.
to play a role, there's gotta be
so maybe we don't like, this will
You
increase
don't
community
think
pride
we-
and awareness.
no, we've already got that. in
Yeah,
the,
you don't
Okay.
need that. But some variation on the last line that you have on the other, and it's how you would say it. that. And just. How about residents, I mean, just simplify it, residents can explore their local history and become stakeholders in local preservation.
You didn't want it like, or did you guys already say against it, like, just this will encourage
Yep.
residents to explore?
Good.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, this will encourage
Residents and visitor, I like.
residents and visitors, yeah.
To explore the local history and become
Yep.
stakeholders.
There
in
you
local
go,
preservation.
residents and visitors
Local history.
are
Well, they, yeah,
encouraged.
that's what you're saying, not like they will explore
Right,
their.
You're encouraged
Yeah.
to explore
Reading a
local
book.
history and to
you will be given a test at the end.
Yes, a quiz.
Okay.
Will be empowered to? Is that too much?
Too much, yeah.
Okay, so I have residents and visitors are encouraged to explore local history and to become stakeholders in local preservation.
No, again, because it still sounds like an instructive. You are encouraged to.
Or and will.
We're on the right track, we
Well,
need a
Will.
bridging word.
I just don't put the encourage in there, just start it off with residents and visitors can explore their local history and become stakeholders in somehow or other word that.
That's really somewhere. Well,
Yep.
Cat gives it kind of an interesting aspirational
Yep.
flavor. Like, you know, we believe in you kind of a thing in addition to like they literally could.
Close to the will, we're gonna
Yeah.
track them with the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Let me just throw something out, it probably doesn't really fit the bill, but I want to kind of bridge the fact that we made a list of things people can use to explore their heritage. So maybe it could say something like, these tools will enable residents and visitors to explore their local history and become stakeholders in local preservation, just the last few words of that last sentence there. So, but so that's the key right there is, the use of these tools. How do you guys feel like that? Yeah, it's because I gotta connect the list of tools with what people will do with it. So they use the tools, they'll explore their local history and become stakeholders in local preservation.
Maybe these will enable.
Yeah. These,
These tools will enable.
Residents. to
is tools the
explore.
best word? I know I came up with
I
it,
know,
but let's maybe we can
I don't
make
know,
these resources.
yeah.
Even though I said online resources at the last
Mm.
part of that
Oh,
sentence.
yeah, you
Yeah.
don't wanna repeat it.
No, I mean, again, you get, I think keeping it simple, people
Mhm.
understand what you're saying
Yeah.
when you
Should we
say that.
These then?
These
these
tools,
will-
no, I think you should,
I could just say, this will enable residents and
Yeah.
visitors to explore.
yep, you don't have to have tools in there. This will enable residents and visitors to explore.
I think what I'm gonna need to do is I'll write this up like
Mhm.
as close as what we just talked about and bring
Yep.
it back to the next one.
Yep,
And have another opportunity to move
Just
it around
to
just a little
tweak
bit
it.
more, but it'll be a lot
Yep.
closer to what you guys are just
Mhm.
saying now.
Mhm.
yep,
So remember where my arrows are telling me to do.
I gave up. I couldn't keep up.
Okay, so we're gonna revisit this next month.
Yeah, I'll have another draft. This time it'll just be one vision statement
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay. Your old photos,
You wanna do them now?
well,
Ready?
that's next on the list with new business. Or do you wanna bring up the scheduling and rescheduling?
Yeah. And it's not set up as a presentation or anything, it's just
The
all
photos,
a series of
Daughter gave me some
PDFs and
trail cams for
JPEGs,
Christmas,
but
and I am getting so much wildlife, you would not believe it on those cameras. I got an 8-point buck the other day
Really?
in my yard, because I put my trail cams in the yard.
okay.
So it's not giving us.
And then the next night he came back
Do you wanna
with
use
another
Uh,
small buck.
Can I do it
that
from
had
over
one
here?
horn mix
So-
with one
Okay.
mix. But that 8-point buck, he's looking right at the camera, it was unbelievable.
Say
All right.
cheese.
Yeah. Now I throw corn.
May I
cobs
have
out
your
there.
attention, please?
Oh, sorry.
All right, you'll be sent to the back seat. All right, first of all, I put some of the maps in here, okay?
Nice.
So, all this stuff that's on here, for instance, Washington Village. The good thing. Okay, we're gonna have to do this. This has names and everything else on it. This is from about 1888 and that, but that's typical of. I
Did your
have-
grandfather do that lettering?
No, those are town
Oh,
maps.
'cause I didn't think that was his.
And, again, certain other villages and stuff like that, there's West Warwick ones in here. So those are all different maps. Some of them have info on them. Like this Washington Village map from 1922 shows what was there then and so on. So, I'm gonna add to that over time. Cause I have some more stuff, but if people wanna look at it to see who was living there, like this one in Central Coventry. Is a good one, cause it was colored and
Oh, it's
everything.
RE also.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, there'll be a folder for maps. Like I've done for these, so we'll start with, because this has got a lot of stuff in it. This has got the villages up here, okay?
I may have mentioned something while you mentioned apps. I got a call that. This past month's been quite the month, but a call that I eventually need to return from some business that. I think they're looking for old maps, like they want to use one they wanna like get one printed as a decoration for a window. Let me look into that, I don't know if. I'll mention it to you in case you might.
Yeah, you can give
be
them
able to
my,
recommend,
if
yeah.
you want to, but it's a
Yeah.
business here in town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head where, but I know that at some point I was emailed their phone number. So I first I probably just call them up and find out what,
Yep,
make sure I know what it is they wanna do.
yep. And then you've got my number.
Yeah.
But best to give them my cell phone number because they can text me or whatever.
Okay.
Do you have it? Or do you want it?
Is it
But-
in, well, say it again, just
It's
in case.
401-623.
Hold on.
11.
My pen's conking out, hold on,
Okay,
right when you need it most. Why I brought a spare, just to be sure, so I knew this thing's getting reliable. Okay, 401.
623-1154.
6231.
You.
Okay, thanks.
I want to talk about this a little bit too, when you're with your picture demonstration.
oh, I forgot about that, right, yeah.
Opt
Yep.
fund grant.
All right, so I'm not gonna go through all the pictures in this because we'd be here for too long, but I'll just do some, start, I guess. How would you do this so that they come up as pictures other than clicking on, do I gotta click on every one? Or can it create a,
Right, you want
It's up
top,
up there, view.
That's
Yeah.
gonna give you,
right under village.
you know better for this one right here.
you might be able to open one up and then just advance it through. to
Yeah.
see
Just go to small.
So that
icons.
there you go, that's what we
You
got,
extra
yep,
large.
that's, all right, so that you guys can, get a sense of. What's on here, and I'll just explain it, like, was the train station. And I have multiple things of this, different ones from
Mhm.
different times, and I gotta set them up that way
Come up with
too.
a Naming scheme, huh?
Yeah, I do, yep,
Sensational.
it's organizational, for now, I just been putting them all into the various villages and I've gotta organize them. So,
Do you have a spreadsheet too, like, or will you have one in the end so that, if somebody, like, if there's ever someone who wanted to research.
Yeah.
That they could do a word search and control that.
I can at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, right now, that's what I said, some of this stuff is disorganized, so it's not gonna be in a specific order yet. Like this is the old Village of Washington before it was changed. That was on Sandy Bottom Road with the Fireman's Muster. This is looking down Main Street in front of
Police station.
the old police station. This is the
Ask you a
Methodist.
question. Start naming these things,
Mm-hmm,
don't put any spaces in the names.
okay,
So like if you wanted to say John Smith, make it John Smith all one word or John_Smith. And this
okay,
comes into play when you start loading them on a website, when you start clicking links. You can't have spaces, it won't let you do
Really?
spaces.
okay,
So
So-
if you have your-
yeah.
there's the
Yeah,
dash.
like this here. Well, though, that's different. I haven't labeled these yet, you
Right.
know, that's certain ones I do.
If you want to put links in a
Mm-hmm.
website, you can't have these little spaces here.
Yeah.
You won't read it.
But something like that, you're saying up top.
Exactly.
Yeah, that may end up not even on there when I'm all
Right.
said and done, because I've got better pictures of it in other spots. I downloaded the whole thing in and then I started organizing. Yep,
Just to keep us from having to go back in afterwards and rename everything, for the sake of clicking on links, don't put any spaces in.
okay. Again, this was a shop on South Main Street. I'll blow it up so you can get a sense of it. That
Wow.
was,
Washington Store.
Okay.
1870.
yep.
Wow.
Because these I've labeled them all, so the info's on there. I mean, literally, it needs to get it down here because of doing what you're saying, but
Right.
this is a shot looking up to the mills from the river. And that's the bridge that goes on South Main Street. That was like all bridges were back then, that were the truss type, metal truss type. But there's the Livingstone Mill was here and the other mill was on this side of that. Just to give context. So again, this was a good one because it was of the 38 Hurricane on Washington Street. Those houses are still there, of course, but anyway,
117?
that's right past where Planet Fitness is on the opposite side.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
Coventry Housing,
17.
where Coventry Housing comes out.
Hmm.
Coventry Housing comes out in
Yeah.
Eastern Right, yeah.
Yep. And these, my grandfather had taken, I'm not gonna click on them, but this shows the destruction of the old houses where the Dave's Plaza is. And I got more of those are here. Again, Fireman's Muster, from one of my grandfather's slides of that was before anything was on Sandy Bottom. And I never remember it from back then, being, I was only just a kid, but I forgot that's why it was called Sandy Bottom, it was all nothing but sand. Again, other ones of the village, again, there's the Merck fire alarm building back in the day when it had been converted into stuff for the fire
That's a really
trucks.
good picture, huh?
Yep,
Great time.
yeah. So there's, you know, others, and this was another great one that we got from Coventry
This
Historical.
over here, 2019-07-25, is that apartment building overlooking Dave's parking lot?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's when they had taken
And a
down
friend
all the
lived-
stuff
that
in
lived in
front.
there in the
They're building the
70s.
post
Yep.
office there.
Post office, yeah,
Going back to the trestle, is that from Pine Grove Cemetery?
where,
The trust
This-
Right there?
that's,
From the cemetery?
no,
'Cause-
no, this is
Oh,
from
alright.
standing across the street. The cemetery's over here.
Like where the window tinting.
Manchester
place is.
Cemetery or whatever it's called, Naughty Oak Cemetery is right
Yeah.
back here.
Chester.
On the other side.
Yeah, the across the street.
No,
like,
this
'cause
is from those
because of
houses
two
where they got the
pillars.
little loop that goes up there. See it? See the wall? There's
That's not York.
There's
Yeah, that's
Naughty
Naughty
Oak
Oak.
Cemetery right there.
It's not a yoke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the,
That's cool.
this is the house on,
On Station Street.
It's still standing?
that's still there on
Really?
Station Street, the real unusual one that was Dr. Smith's house. This was the Livingston Mill, which I've got numerous ones now of that,
Wow.
but this was a really good one that showed it. This was the corner, right here is the corner where you turn onto South Main,
Wow.
right there. And that mill came right down to the corner. And went all
Did
the
it
way up.
burn or get knocked down?
I
It
was
got
told it was-
knocked down.
I was told it was taken
It-
down
it
by
was a
Leslie
demo.
Bowden.
Who?
Leslie Bowden. Leslie Warden.
Yeah,
She was a
Lefty?
Bowden.
Did she say the person's name was Lefty?
Leslie It's a
Oh.
woman.
This one's a
Wow.
lovely one, looking
That's
down
great.
South Main. Again, these houses are there still.
Beautiful.
And then I've got this stuff from Coventry Historical that was written, that's interspersed in here again. They'll all be organized. But I colorized this one, so I'll show you that one. I took that other picture and colorized it, but that's just above the dam on South Main.
That's,
When you look up there,
That's
the
our
dam's right
rock.
down here. There's
that's
the
our
rock, there's
Yep,
still,
we
they
used
can
to
still
swim
see
off
out
that
there.
rock.
Isn't that
Yep.
amazing?
Did you give me that one, Norma? Or did I get it from
I
the?
think so.
Yeah.
That's our.
I think you gave me that one.
Smith Rock.
I'd like to see
Yep.
that town clerk office. I never saw the picture of it.
That's the mark.
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
but I've never seen
that's
it
the
in that
original.
configuration.
That's how it was
With-
originally.
Wow.
Yep. With the way it, like, look, the door was in the middle and that and it was lovely. The thing I never understood is they, see these things right here? Because when we were restoring outside, those were for shutters. They never put them on the
And they
building.
never shut it on the
No,
building.
they put the things in for them, but
Yeah.
never did it. And
I
this
know they
was,
weren't there for a while, maybe.
this was another great one, and the old part of Washington Village.
Mhm.
Wow.
With the car, early 1900s.
I
Another,
see if we still had that street with all those little storefronts like that.
yeah,
You'd have
it would be
historic
wonderful.
district.
It would be another new.
And this,
Before
this
we-
was
yeah, before
looking the
anybody
other
cared.
way on the Livingstone Mill from up the street. There you have the big house that used to sit on the corner. This is South Main right here. But this was from a postcard,
Wow.
because I have a lot of them that are from postcards. Another Livingston Mill and stuff like that, so. So you can see how there's, you know. That's another Livingstone Mill. That's another one of that, that's from another book and that, but
That's
here's a good one of the
Oh,
Washington Depot. Yep, yep.
Boy, there wasn't much that
And-
building, was there?
Yep. And this is,
They sized them just right, they, you
Oh.
know, they had their
And-
methods.
this is that big house that existed, wait, this is South Main right here. The Livingston Mill is right here, and that house existed on that whole corner where the other, where the parking area and the gas, I mean, the repair station is now.
That looks like there was some kind of store or something in there too.
Yeah, there was. And this was the trolley that used to come through Washington Village and go to Clyde. It was, you had the tracks
Was that
on one side of the
electric?
street. And that is the Coventry Primary, which is, what's that street?
Katy Street.
Katy Street, right? Oh, I got it right there. I wrote
Yeah,
it. Yep.
that's the church that's.
So this
nowadays,
is two separate pictures that I put
Oh,
together. That's the school and this was the school children.
Oh, it was a school?
Yeah, that was a
That's
school.
the- Is it, so that building's still up there?
It's
Yeah.
still there and it's used as a
Is
daycare
that
now.
where the monument is up
It's
there?
behind there.
And there's
Okay.
Payne House.
Yeah, that should.
Okay,
About a
So you-
gazillion.
like I said, you're gonna get repeats of some of this. This,
Oh, there's the,
this is inside the Livingstone Mill. These nice
Mhm.
ones that I've got.
Bob LaValle's bar.
Really shows it off well. And how it was inside there.
So what did they make there? Was it silk? Was it-
Fabrics
It was fabric.
Wool.
Yeah, it was.
Cotton.
wool.
and lace.
It was a woolen mill.
That's
Woolen?
Ken.
Woolen mill.
This is another old one, the old post office and that. This is looking down Main Street from South Main. If you're South Main, somewhere up here, this was the curve. Where now the liquor store is over here. That White House still exists.
No, it's gone.
It is gone. That's
took
right,
it
they tore it down.
Not
Sorry.
that long ago.
That's right, they tore it down. And
Is
that,
the,
and originally the bar was on this lot.
That's what I was gonna say. I knew the bar was gone,
Hmm,
Bar's gone.
but that house is gone?
Yeah, I
Somebody
forget.
drove through it.
And this is,
Parking
Is
lot.
that the, oh, that's not the green lot, that's just next to the building?
and then this is what this looked
Oh.
like before they added the other stuff on. To the thing that's a
Washington.
restaurant that's not opened
It's such a
anymore.
weird building. I'd like to know the history of why.
Yep.
You know, what style is that, Paul? Do you know? It's a
It's
mansard
mansard,
roof, right?
mansard.
But there's something else going on there with that
It was
big
a
old
hotel.
bulging thing out the front.
It was a hotel.
Yep,
It was?
Mm.
yeah. So then you got the little building that's the
Oh,
barber
wow.
shop.
Yeah.
But that was a one-story building originally, and they
Yeah.
put the second story on it, which I have a picture of the other, and that should be put with it, but again, another trolley picture. There's the trolley coming up. Here is the house that was torn down. Now you got the new building here, and this is Sandy Bottom Road right over here. Okay?
Huh.
So anyway, and here's the best one that shows the relationship of those. There's that big house that came right up to the curb. There's South Main with the bridge, and here's Livingston Mill right here.
Oh,
I
that was beautiful.
colorized it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You know,
There's something going on there though, right? Because you can see
It says it's work,
the truss
road work,
that's, but then there's something going on, like.
Road
they've got-
work.
Is it road work
yeah,
on the left of the
it's written
bridge?
somewhere
Yeah.
that it's road work.
yep.
There may be piled up curbs.
So again, you get,
That's so.
and this is
unfortunate
a
that
great one. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Well,
And
yeah, that's the
there's
thing.
that whole stretch. There's the old post office.
Yeah,
There was
Duffy store.
stores and the stores and all that.
Yeah.
This
Hudson
was,
store.
this was from probably around 1950.
It's like for the sake of knowing where you are. it's
See, I
nice
mean,
just that
there are
like
things
the
you're gonna see in
sliders,
here that don't
but it's
belong in
almost
here, but don't
depressing.
worry about that.
Agreed.
They slipped,
Agreed.
they slipped in when I was moving stuff.
Trying to figure out where exactly
Yeah.
they are
Mm.
and what they remember from when they were
Okay,
kids.
this probably one of the most beautiful houses that was in Washington Village, and that was torn down and they built the town hall there. This was what was on the site of the town hall.
Where the police station, oh, old police station. People know it as an old police station.
Yep.
Yeah.
So these again are all the
Isn't
stores
that
and
was the
stuff.
rectory for the church?
The
for
parsonage,
too?
the parsonage for the
Parsonage?
Methodist church, yeah.
And these are some old ones from my grandfather's
Here's the bar.
pictures. There's
The old
what was
badge.
the bar. And his, you know, Hudson's store and everything, that whole stretch where you could pull in, but I love the car.
Yeah. Old,
Um,
dash.
Too funny. And that's of straight on, looking at that. At the same time, those, you know, with that, what it looked like.
So yeah, the key with all of this is gonna be organization,
Yeah,
getting them in some
Well,
format that they're searchable.
The top right, that's,
these here,
yeah, those are the.
Oh, that's the trade.
That-
Bud-
they had,
those
I,
are Bud
I
orange
literally
seeds.
wrote on that when I was a kid. I went with my grandmother and grandfather into Providence on it, because it would come by here. And do you remember that, Norma?
No.
Yeah,
They were diesels, did they feel kind of like, were they kind of a rough ride?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I've heard
they
about
were.
them.
So that's what these were. My grandfather had taken these,
They were
but
transportation.
you know, there they are stopped.
Which we don't
I
have
know,
today.
I
Yep.
know, it's.
Wouldn't you love to have a train right now that takes you
Yes.
directly into Providence?
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh,
Close
I
the
did the
wrong
wrong
one.
thing, sorry. What do I gotta hit? Right here?
Get that folder, and then, this, well, actually.
What did you
If
hit?
it's a touchscreen, yeah, I can get you there myself.
What folder was it?
How's your old pictures?
Yep, and then
And
what?
up top to
View.
view,
Click on view
View,
and
And
then click on
extra large
extra
right
large
below.
right below
this?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so. Then we got, you know, I got so much stuff in here, again, I'm gonna be here all night, but, just to. Give you like these little things. This is the Polish Club. From forget, I got it on there, 1920, whatever, 6 or whatever.
Is that
So
the one
that's-
on Meeting Street?
No, the
Oh.
Polish Club is, well, I don't know what street it's on. It's in
At the
Anthony.
top of
Yeah,
Boston
Meeting
Street,
Street,
yeah,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Meeting.
Yep.
There's a cemetery
Yep.
next to it,
Yeah.
that's why I know it.
So, I mean, I got
Or-
little, I mean, these are my
Notes.
grandfather would clip things out of papers and I have notebooks full of clippings, okay?
with
But
no
the,
rhyme or reason. to
oh no, he had a
talk
rhyme or
about
reason to him, all right.
it.
Yeah. But I mean, this one, because I know these two, again, because this is from my time frame, but anyway, I knew
Granny
these two
Hop.
girls and whatever, but you know,
celebration.
they're funny ones. Then I got a lot of mill pictures like this. I have ones of the fire departments. Like this one was a great picture of the Anthony Fire Station from about 48,
Mhm.
in that, so before it had the other on, but with the old trucks.
Mhm.
Like. And then you got the showboat stuff, you know, I got a whole bunch on showboat, so. And I've got to organize those all together. And you get
I
into
remember seeing Admiral's
personalities.
Lounge on there. That must have been really early.
Oh, there's a school.
Then
Oh,
Searles
Searles Capwell.
Capwell, yeah, that's a famous picture that's been shown a lot.
Tires two
And
for
Rice
$19.
City.
What's the cemetery one?
Up at Dan's place.
It
There's
is.
cemetery.
Yeah, it
What's
is.
a cemetery
it
one?
is. where you going?
In the, yeah, that one.
This one, that's,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that probably shouldn't even be in there.
1962.
Naughty Oak.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it is.
In
Yep.
Jervis Street.
Yep,
No,
Kevin, 8, Edward,
Yep.
8. Get those
Okay,
kids in there
yeah.
young.
this is another one from Coventry Center,
Yeah.
which was that rooming
Oh,
house
yeah.
and store that was there. Those houses are still there,
Yeah.
as you
You
know.
know what's strange though, is
Yep.
that building's actually straddling where 117 is.
It is, well, because they widened 117 by about 20 feet too, so. But.
Hmm.
And all that stuff, I just find interesting ones in that, but. Again, some of it's repeat of pictures of stuff. And then this one, I mean, this one's of local interest because it is. Something I didn't know about, but Coventry Athletic Association, they had a really good baseball team.
Mhm.
And I got the names and everything with it. They're on another
what's that
another
photo
one
above
there,
it,
but
Paul?
got that.
Paul,
And
what's that photo above it?
this,
Germany after World War II.
Yes,
no, that's a mill that burnt down.
Wow.
And I'm not sure where it was. I was hoping someone could help me with that.
I can't remember what the.
I don't
name
know
of
if
it
that was
but there's a
Natick
big
Mill,
fire.
if this was a I don't know. There was nothing on it. It was just in his
I like the
pictures.
wagon.
Yep. And then you had. Again,
Uh-huh.
this is
Blair,
Showboat.
yep.
And that's,
53 Buick.
yep. Those are all, everybody's seen most of those before, but I got a lot of miscellaneous things. This, one of my favorites with an old one. This is the bikers, yep. And I colorize it to make it, but there's a Madison in there. You know, Charles
one is
Madison
he?
right there.
That's him.
Yep.
Figures he's the most dapper guy in the.
Sure. This is all from my graduating yearbook at Coventry, golf team and other stuff that I put in there because it's Coventry. All right. This is a cute one with them pulling the thing with that. It didn't have anything on it, so I don't know where it was. This. The Quidnick Mill. This, again, interesting because it shows all the wood they had to stack for the winter to run the thing.
That just boggles my mind.
Then
that
I-
a mill
then-
would run on
Then we
wood.
get into these, and I'm not gonna try and go through them all. These are ones from the scrapbooks that I did. And there's a ton of you. So, but I like this one. There's the Anthony
Oh, yeah,
Mill,
I've seen
and
that.
there's the fire apparatus thing right there.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, doesn't it? I like that one. And then these are from the state archive books, but there's the Anthony Mill, and they had this thing down below here,
What is that?
which I don't know, how do you,
Looks like a chicken.
where
coop.
do I click on it to make it bigger?
Right down there.
That's
This one?
Well, yeah, you can full screen it, but
Yeah,
then,
Okay. Yeah, but that didn't do it.
so
Okay,
then,
Escape.
yeah, you move down there,
Where's
that
it?
one.
Hold down.
this one?
No,
No,
right
Oh.
there.
That arrow
Right there, okay.
Now, you can pick like 2 or 3.
Cause I want, do they have chickens or rabbits or something down there? Probably chickens, right?
You might have it.
Yep.
Would not have surprised
And
me.
anyway, that was a good one. I like that one. And,
Is that the,
that's the building that's falling
St.
down.
Germain's
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
St.
I was
Germain's
looking at the
stuff.
roof of that today.
Did you click on it?
On St. Germain's?
Yeah.
I was
No.
looking at the roof today. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know, it's about ready to fall in. This was from probably 1960s when it was in that condition.
I think
Here's-
it's a dorm that's up
This
there.
is, so this is the mill over there at Spring Lake.
Yeah, the place was wall-to-wall mills, wasn't it?
Mhm.
yeah, meeting?
And here you go. And we've seen this, this is up at the campgrounds in Green, the Baptist campgrounds.
Wow.
Yep,
It was a big revival back then.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Searles Cap Welding there.
With those
Here we
cops.
go.
Oh, that's George
Police.
Madison.
That's my uncle, George, George Madison's son, but that was part of the first full Coventry police station, a police force, I'm sorry. That's what that was, and this is from a newspaper clipping of them. That's my Uncle George, but this was the original police department when it was formed. I mean, they had police before that, like constables, but they didn't have an official police department.
Kids don't look like they're old enough to.
Couple of them.
Well, they were
got
all
me.
young, they were in their 20s. Again, Camp
Wow.
Revive, this from the Camp Revival meeting place up there.
Like such fun.
And some things I don't know, but this was the old home days. I loved going to that when I was a kid.
Wait, they haven't done that in
Yeah,
years.
that was so much fun when I was
What
young.
what was the point of it?
It was a fair.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a fair.
Coventry Old
Yep.
Home Days.
Yep.
Was that like is that a common name, Old Home Days for fairs, or just, that was just?
Yeah.
used here?
Yeah,
A carnival
Yeah.
and games and I think they had a dance at night or something.
Yeah,
They
I had fireworks, the whole
Yeah.
bit.
the last one that I went to was at the old Star City
This
Glass.
another one that.
But they
I'm
stopped them
sure
because of the
you've seen,
drinking.
Colleen,
Yeah.
but this
Had a
is
lot of
in
problems
Phoenix.
with the drinking.
This is the marching band coming through. There's the old bank. This was another building. And that they had such nice buildings in Phoenix back then.
Wow.
They had some
Yeah,
stunning.
yeah.
Been going through postcards like crazy lately and. It's just
And
amazing.
it's,
Some of those buildings
let
are
me see if there's
stunning.
anything else. Some are newer that I've included just because of that. That's just a nice one of that. If they were nice, I'd put them in. Then I had a few that we got from Coventry Historical like that. This was, the kids in the classroom at Harris Heights School, because I've got pictures of Harris Heights School in here to go with it, and they need to be put with that. Tearing down of the Byron Reed building, okay. Again, all of those on that stuff, a lot of the other rope work that's a new one I took after we got it painted. Yeah,
Cause it looks spotless on the outside, looks
Yeah.
gorgeous.
and like
Soapbox
these,
I never saw the showboat
Yep.
lit up like that.
Oh, yeah.
that was, I mean, look at the
Maybe I
car,
saw
so
it.
that was really early
My
on.
grandfather took that picture.
You did?
Yeah. It's
Is that where it came from? Yeah. And then I got the Spring Lake stuff. This is from Sinbad's collection. But this is where McDonald's sits, right here.
Really?
That's where McDonald's sits. These houses were all torn down. This is the gatehouse. The Spring Lake is right behind this. That controlled the water flow over to the mill, which was over here. But this here, the police, again, I have these from my uncle's pictures, because the police ran these soapbox derbies. And I've got a picture, I'm not gonna go crazy looking for it, of all the kids all together with all
Yeah.
their things like that. And they did it on the hill, over there in Quidnick. They'd come down the hill to Moore's Garage. They'd start up on the
Oh, okay.
top.
MacArthur Boulevard?
But this guy, I mean, this kid, the reason he had this, he was very friendly with Richard Potter, apparently. But that's from 1950. When they were doing it. And that was like a year or so after they had established a police department and the police sponsored it. And just a few more on there and that. And this is another little known fact, but
Cultural park.
this was on Fairview Avenue. Above, past on the top of the hill, past the cemetery. And they used to have this fairgrounds up there, and that's what it looked like. I actually have a photograph, they had, but they had races there. I have a picture of that in my grandfather's stuff. But I have this was actually a flyer type nice poster thing, and I had that from my grandfather's stuff, but I could never figure out where it was. Then Hope Historical,
They know.
Ernie. Before he
okay.
passed away, again, I got very friendly with Ernie, and he was the one who gave me a whole bunch of information on that and on the one that they used to have up there. So, and then this is a good one, because you can see how there was no trees here before. Knotty Oak Cemetery, Knotty Oak Church. This is nothing here.
Cause they cut them all
Nothing.
down for the
Yep,
trains and stuff,
yep.
right?
Amazing. And William,
Is it rural mail delivery?
yeah, that's rural mail delivery in Weston Coventry.
Yeah.
Looks a little rusty.
So anyway, go back. I just want, and I'll be done. I'll stop doing this because you guys want to go home.
Spend days looking at this.
All right, I just wanted to show Phoenix. Where is, there it is. Okay, up here to view and, okay. So, I mean, some of these are all things that, some part of it's West Warwick and whatever, and, you know, because the way that straddles. But all these, you know, I like, this one is the view from the bridge that
Mhm.
went across, but this really shows, because there's the building that was in the middle. They had the grandstand for all their events and everything they had. And that's the building that you see that was in the middle, that had a theater in it and restaurants and other businesses in that. And the hotel, of course, the Phoenix Hotel is still right here.
So that building is where the Christmas tree is now, the
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
part?
Yep,
Okay.
that part right there. Now, this one, when I first saw it, because this was going by, I grew up in Phoenix area. I grew up just a, you know, stone's throw from here. I never remembered this building ever. There was
No.
never, I never saw it, never heard about it, but there's the church that they,
Mm. Gone.
did that get torn down or did it get
They took
burned?
it down.
Tore it down. And then again, the old bridge, but yeah, that stuff. And this is a really old picture of early Phoenix. And
Oh.
this is what it looked like
Wow.
with the dirt road coming through and the little businesses on the sides like it was back then.
Wow.
Yep.
Oof.
And in
Not
this
very
one,
long.
Yeah.
they were putting in the trolley tracks at this point. Basically similar view, you know, with it. One of the things that amazed me when I got into more of these pictures is that how close the houses were to the road up past the Harris Fire Station, because the road was a lot narrower. And again, this is what it looked like when it was still a dirt lane going up to St. Peter and Paul's Church up here. And that house was still there when I was a child and I'd walk up by this, but it was abandoned. It was like a haunted house. We were all afraid of it. And then I got a lot of other stuff in there. And then again, this is a good one. This is from Ernie, the historian from Hope. This mill is gone, but this is the river and this is the Arkwright, I'm sorry, the Harris Dam right here. And where me and you walked through and all that, and these mill houses, but that was the first Harris Mill, and that long gone. Harris High School. And that was there for a long time till it burned down. And that's some of the students, and that's my cousin Annette. She went there. But, and again, looking at it from another angle in there, there's the mill and there's the Harris Dam right there.
Seems weird to see Phoenix spelled without the O.
Yeah, it
Yep.
drives me crazy. Every time I see it, it drives me crazy. That's how they spell it. Just think of it as a name, not a
Yeah.
bird.
So.
Oh, they having a dance? What were they doing?
Pretty with the reflection on the water, the,
Mhm.
on the left
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that was a really nice one. That was a postcard.
Yeah,
And with it.
wow.
But see, even in this one, that other building was long gone by then. When this was done, and the beautiful church.
Hmm.
That was still there when I was a kid. And then the mill stuff and the other things like that. And then this was a great
It's a little
picture
bit
too,
Similar
that
style of the First
Yeah.
Baptist Church.
I like this one. This picture right here. That house is still there, and the other ones, that picture was used on money that the bank in Phoenix
Oh, really?
issued.
Okay.
They used that picture on it.
Wow.
They issued their own currency.
Yeah,
A lot of banks do.
Yeah, a lot
I'm
of them
finding
did.
that out.
and
There's a little tiny
this is
by
the other
house.
one that I mean, in terms of the train, this is the train station right there that was right after the bridge in Phoenix. And this is a good one because it has the train coming in with all the
Oh,
people
yeah.
waiting for it right
Nice.
there. It's right where you can go up Ames Street. You go up
Mhm.
Fairview and Ames is right behind this, where that was.
1924.
Sad that they had better public transportation in 1924 than what we have now.
Yeah.
Yep. And this one, which I
So,
colorized,
research too, people had a bit easier time moving around sheep back then.
Here's the trolley tracks and how they did them. It went down the main street, but to get on and get off, they had the little pullovers, and there's the building, it was in the middle. I had people, I posted this one last year online, they were telling me, well, this can't be real
Oh, I
because
saw
there's
that
a
on Facebook.
plane.
Yeah.
They thought this was a plane. No, that's the wires,
Yeah.
you know, when you do it for the trolleys, that's how they ran. Anyway, that's a great one of Phoenix too. And these are some prominent citizens of Phoenix, and I gotta add the names, but they were
Like
waiting.
doctors.
This is Fairview Avenue, and they were waiting for it. They were all business owners. And they're probably going into Providence or something. And those are similar to the ones you already saw, so anyway, enough,
Yeah,
Well, you can get lost in it
For
for
now,
days
yeah.
and days and days.
yeah, enough.
I can't wait till all that's on the website and you can
Yeah.
just go clicking around, looking at
So-
stuff.
You wanna borrow it?
Sure.
I've got it all on my computer, so I just, dragged it onto this. You wanna borrow it to look at it for? Then you can instruct me on how properly to do
Okay,
it,
I can do
okay?
that, just
Yep,
ideas of.
I mean, obviously I
I'm-
gotta organize them, I know that.
In your head, and when I look at it, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the technology of how
Yep.
to use a website, how to be able to
That's-
search for things.
And that's what you'll have to tell
And
me.
the headings we're gonna put this stuff under so that it's not just pictures of old
Right.
country.
No,
So maybe you could experiment with the numbering scheme, just like a little sample time of kind of something.
So whether it break it down by villages, whether we break it down by villages is probably the easiest way. But then within each village, there's probably a section for mills,
Throw me the
a
mouse, I
section
wanna,
for
I wanna
churches.
disconnect it the right way.
oh, yeah, so you don't lose
But
it, just
if
make sure.
they're
yeah,
titled
just make sure,
right,
Yeah,
you should be able to have a search bar that you can.
Yeah.
And then by year, I don't know how, a lot of these have at least a general idea of what time frame.
So searching an online database through a website is pretty complex, isn't it? Are IT people here helping? Do you need a
Yeah, no, the
vendor to
IT
help?
will
Yeah,
definitely
I
help you
understand
out with
that.
it. But I mean, you can, the town already has search capabilities on their website.
Yeah.
So I just have to get with them and find out how they best want to things titled, to make it.
Because I guess one of the things that needs to be in the searchable database is a way to type in
Well,
Anthony Village or,
Well-
something like that.
Year for this.
By cell file.
do I have a year for it? I
Yeah,
can text you,
yeah.
it. I think it's about 1888, but I have it, again, I took a slice of the map, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
To do
yeah.
that, to show you,
Yeah,
so that it was bigger.
yeah.
Is the pictures. Yeah, you can have an Excel file, but how do you put that photograph into that Excel file?
The Madison Archives. Okay. There you go.
So. That's. There's gotta be some kind of database for that. And boy, can you import it, so. You just have these as photographs with names on them, you don't have a.
Are there
Or
any
do you have a
departments right now
database?
in the town?
No, of course not. You know how long that would take me?
Honey, I'm
Objects?
doing Richard
I know you
collection.
probably have.
I know
I'm-
exactly.
I'm doing the photo part of it,
No,
Okay.
the library's probably the.
just the scanning and
Oh,
putting
yeah.
names to it and doing all that. I spend
Like,
1 to 2 hours per week doing
You know what I
this.
Right,
And so that will come at the end.
yeah.
Like I said, I finally, over the past month, been making folders to put stuff into them, but in that,
I have
other
the
pictures,
app.
there's still stuff that I haven't
I have
moved
the
yet.
library
Cause I'll sit there,
app,
Dave,
and I can
I've got a
search
half
by
hour
title.
and I got time to do it, like today, this morning, I had some time. I was
I
waiting
love
for
that.
my painter. And I did a certain amount, I go through, and then I got them in the folder, and then I need to organize the folder into putting things next to one another that should be. And they still gotta get labeled.
You know,
It's a ton of work.
you know what your folder, or are they just numbers?
No, they're all labeled on it. It says it on it.
Yeah.
When you
Because
open that, it's gonna say Washington,
this,
Harris,
Libraries
so
often
on,
have it on
other than the
tablets.
broad
Yeah.
one, which is
And they're.
the old pictures of Coventry. Like I have one in there that is
Database
glass
archives.
plates, Coventry glass
Should I have a
plates,
motion to
that we don't
adjourn?
know who the people are.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I
to
know, it's
adjourn.
plate,
All in favor?
third,
Fourth, fifth?
7:43.
7:43.
I'm sorry, who made the motion second?
I did.
Okay.
Who's second?
We didn't talk about scheduling.
Colleen
Do we need to
seconded.
reschedule?
No,
No.
that was for the previous one, I was gonna say, you can do it now, you can do it after.
I guess put this,
Alright,
on thing on the next one.
and talk to,
So that deadline is May,
see what
so
they need to,
May, I have the tab open.
Well, we didn't talk
yeah,
about that
May
either.
12th.
So we would have more than a month, we would meet before May 12th too. So if this was something we wanted to pursue, it's like we could make, I guess we could
Mhm.
say. April 3rd.
It's usually for document preservation and
Yeah,
things like
it's
that.
yeah.
very specific,
We
and it's
applied
only
once before.
$750.
Yeah, we
So if
we
there's
applied
any
once before.
case, Think about it next meeting, if there is,
Oh.
you know, if we were going to pursue it, we could write up whatever the
Mhm.
narrative would
Mhm.
be. Look at it, agree on it at the May one, and then
Mhm.
hit send, I guess.
Yeah, I can help writing it up and all that if we decide to, and I'll do it real quick, I'll turn it around. When I first started looking at this, I was thinking, and I know the meeting's over, but I thought,
Well,
let's
I
try
guess
to
we
make
could,
decisions.
and I was gonna say, should we
leave it.
formalize it, or should we continue and then vote to adjourn?
Until
Oh, yeah, we
did
haven't
vote.
voted to adjourn yet, huh?
I said
We
all in
did.
favor.
We just
we
did,
did.
you weren't,
Oh,
So we could go back
you
to
can say,
And all I was
Yes.
gonna say,
table the motion, so. For now,
Okay.
is that how that works?
might be.
Are you turning it
maybe
back
shut
on?
my mouth and leave
Yeah, I
it
didn't
next
turn it
week,
off
next
yet.
month.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Go ahead, say it.
no big deal. I was just gonna say that I'd like to figure out a way to shoehorn buying materials for our display cases with $750. Like, and I was looking at Maureen's display over there at the library. She's
Yeah.
got like a little platform that's multi-level
Mhm,
and,
mhm.
you know, so it's just a nugget of a thought right now. The problem is I can't find a way to put that in here because this talks about two-dimensional historical evidence. So they're wanting to say photographs,
Documents.
says paper-based documents, photographs, and other two-dimensional historical evidence. Can be restoration, preservation, rate costs associated with the acquisition of documents. So it would be, they probably wouldn't approve anything for photo display or anything.
No, no,
Strictly
no.
preservation, it's more
yeah.
along
Right,
your
yes,
lines of what you're
yes.
doing. That's all I had to say about that one.
Anything else?
We have to vote yet.
Do we need the
We have to
motions
vote.
again or no?
Motion
Yeah,
on
let's
the
just do
table.
it again for the
Okay.
clarity.
Make
Motion
a
to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Oh, did you say it?
Yes.
Did you? I'm sorry.
Alright, so Maureen, let's say Maureen.
Cause I'm just, I
Maureen
can
said
just,
it.
to me, I can just
Yeah.
keep it like the way it is, just change the time on it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7:46.
7:46.
Okay.
I'm just gonna change that.
So maybe record that picture.